Hi, welcome to HR Development Day. Today it's all about hearing various stories and case studies and expert talks and panels about the processes of HR transformation. And if you're here right now, it means you're interested to hear how can we cherish young people, what do they need, what are the needs of young talents and first-time leaders, and how can we run development programs for them. It is my pleasure to welcome Vlado Begovic to this session from CorpoHub. Vlado, can you hear us and see us?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome to HR Week. We are very excited to hear your case study. So whenever you're ready, you can start your session. I'll come back a bit later to see if there are questions from the audience about young people and talents.
Okay, great. Thank you. So first of all, are we live? Not yet. Okay. Okay, so we are live. Sorry, I don't see myself, so I thought that we are waiting for another 5 minutes. First of all, I would like to apologize in the name of our CEO, Matej Golob. As you can see, I'm not him, so he's currently unavailable because he had actually the same thing running right now as I will be presenting in this short presentation. So yes, apologize, and I'm happy to step in and present our way of serving young leaders and young potentials that we are working in Slovenian environment. So let me just share my screen. Okay, like this. Okay, great. Cool, up and running, great. So what are the needs of young talents and first-time leaders, and how is our team best serving them? In a more informal setting, we might serve them with a drink or two, but in a more formal way, we are a team of professionals, a team of facilitators, trainers, agile coaches who try to make the world a better place by implementing agile ways of work and implementing modern principles of leadership. So this is exactly the thing that we are doing also with young potentials and young leaders. So what we are doing is somehow written in this slide, but I will focus on the first topic, which is agile leadership. So as I mentioned, our team is trying to make the world a better place by implementing agile ways of work, and agile leadership is, of course, one of the things that that needs to be implemented in the first steps, so that the company and the organization can thrive better. So most of our young leadership, young potential programs, however you call them, is focused mostly on this, and I will show you how actually what are the main topics that we cover in those programs and modules. So I will go through some examples that we've done or we are currently doing. So first of all, one of the companies that we jointly arranged a program for them for their young potentials. It's called Young Potentials Program, Talent Development Program from Hisense Europe. So this was in the beginning of the year. Then it went on. We were working with Adacta Fintech. They called their program First Time Leadership Program, and currently we are working with Ljubljanske Mlekarne, or which are from Lactalis Group, the biggest dairy organization in Europe or in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And they call their program Leadership Foundations, for example. So many organizations call their young potentials, young leaders differently, and also the programs are called differently. So yeah, and of course in different settings, different organizations, modules and programs are not the same. So we adjust them accordingly to the specifics of the organization. So for example, in Gorenje, we had 3 full day modules. In Adacta, we had 3 half-day modules, and in Ljubljanske Mlekarne, we are having 2 half-day modules. So it's different from organization to organization. So this is kind of a topics or key points that we are covering during those modules. I won't be able to show you all of it because we don't have enough time, but I will try to explain a bit of those major ones that we kind of got the feedback from the young potentials, young leaders, that it is the most important part in all the program. So of course, we try to set the agenda for the whole program, and we try to squeeze many things in it. But during the modules, we get the instant feedback from the participants and from young potentials, and we step by step reorganize the agenda or put some stuff in it which maybe wasn't in the first place in the program, or remove something out of it because they already heard it. So we try to adjust, so inspect and adapt, like it's in agile way of work. So we have an agenda throughout the program, but we of course adjust accordingly to the needs and wishes of participants, which is of course why we're doing this, to maximize value, not output. We don't want to put a lot of unimportant knowledge or information to participants. We want to give them true value, so they can bring that value to their teams, to their company. And that's one of the main learning points in Agile. So maximize value, not output. We are trying to do the same with our programs for young leaders. So as I mentioned, I will only cover a few of topics that we do in our programs. So first up, kudos and recognition. So what is it about? It's about giving a recognition to your coworker, to your employees, to your subordinates, if you are a leader. But we have from Management 3.0 kudo cards, which are there to complement the good work done by your colleagues, or just as a sign of gratitude, or something like that. You can also use them in a combination with small prizes. Also, for example, in our team, we use Bonusly, which is more digitalized way of kudo cards. And of course, we have some rewards behind it. So it's a really good incentive to promote motivation and going that extra mile in the team, because you know that your team is supporting you, and that you belong to the team. Second up, it's a abbreviation, stands for facilitated participatory decision making. This is something that popped out. We learned that, or we got the knowledge for facilitating participatory decision making from this book. So Facilitator's Guide to Participatory Decision Making. And also we got a feedback from participants that this is one part of the program that is very important for them, because of course they need to facilitate the meetings, they need to be able to communicate with their coworkers, their superiors, subordinates, however, and facilitating those processes is very important, and skills behind it are very important for young leaders. So this is one thing that is that we got an information that is very important to them. So main let's say picture from this book, which we use in all our workshops, is this one. So in every process, you need to be aware that in the middle there will be a grown zone. So challenges, confusion, frustration, all those are normal part of the process. And when you establish that, when you're good with that, you will be able to get to the conversion zone and closure zone. So we put that picture in the beginning of every workshop, just to make sure that everybody understands it, and that this doesn't put too much pressure to the participants of the workshops or modules, programs, whatever. So they know that in the end we will get to the closure zone. We use FPDM in all our workshops, so facilitating processes is something that we do all the time. Those are just a few examples from Siemens and and Merkur Zaurovalnica, for example. I think Matej was doing that. So those principles from this book can be used anywhere, and they are also always very, very useful. So in the beginning of those kind of sessions, so when we have let's say, for example, like in this pictures, those were all offsites for companies that needed to get to a common denominator. So they need to get a clear view of how to go forward with something, and we guide them through this process, and those are somehow the agenda or the how we make those kind of sessions. So first of all, why are we here? What's the purpose? Big picture. Then some from the company, from the leadership, gives the context. So state of the union, short lightning demos. So what's the quest behind? Then we put the participants in smaller groups. We do the retrospectives, usually short vision sessions, and then we go into several rounds of concrete proposals. So it's like a small ideation hackathon-like workshop, and of course we wrap it up with to-dos and owners of the tasks that needs to be done. So I already mentioned retrospectives. It's coming from Scrum. So one of the main points of Scrum process is sprint retrospective. So it's aiming to improving improving the whole team. So one of the agile principles is to continuously improve, and that's why we're doing retrospectives, and we try to persuade all young leaders to do retrospectives on their teams continuously and on regular iterations, or let's say at least once per month or once per quarter, something like that. So the goal of retrospective is to become more effective, efficient, and happy. Few examples of retrospective. So the easiest one on the one side, something that was good, positive, so plus, and things that needs to be improved, like delta. There are some other ways of doing retrospectives. I won't be talking much about them. You probably already know that. So at the end, the most, let's say, complicated one, sailboat. So with the wind flowing in our sails, which is helping us or our team. Anchor that is delaying or obstructing the team. Rocks, so the risks, and the goal vision towards which we are floating. One thing that is most important in retrospective when we come to the major parts of the team dynamics. So what is not working very well, we need to establish who is a directly responsible individual. So who will take care that something gets done differently, or at least gets done. So at the end of every retrospective, we need to get one person for each task that needs to be done, because if we don't do that, it won't be done. So remember, the only truly wrong way of running a retrospective is not to run one. So please make your retrospectives. And in the end, of course, a very important part of the programs for young leaders is pitching. So why pitching? Because we always need to pitch something either to our team, to pitch our vision of the product, of the company, or to pitch some ideas to top management. So all the time we need to be able to present our ideas very well. And yeah, I had few of slides more, but I guess I'm out of time. So
Yeah, if you have a few more slides, feel free to finish them and I'll come back in 1 minute. Is this good?
yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
So in the pitching part, we always start with why, or tend to put the participants into mode of, so they think, why are they presenting anything? Because if it doesn't need to be presented, it can also be just an email. So always question why I want to present that. And of course, we can improvise, but we always suggest that rehearsing and preparing for the pitch, for the presentation is always better. So rehearse, and honest virgin feedback, which we are doing in our workshops, is the best way to give the perfect pitch. This is not something that we came up with. It's from TED. So TED Talks are based on these rehearsals. So we actually got that out from there. And just one thing more, honest virgin feedback, what it is. So we try to train participants in pitching, so they prepare a short pitch and they train it with other participants. So we as listeners try to take a look at clarity of the message, comprehensibility, content, relevance, and always we have a keynote listener who is first one who is drawing notes, and is the first one who gives the feedback to the speaker, and in this way we exchange in few rounds, and all the speakers improve their pitches far more than it would be on their own, for example. And for the end, in pitches or in life, out of the comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. So this is it from my side. Thank you very much for listening, and happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Yeah, thank you, Vlado, for this inspiring case study. It was amazing to hear all about these programs. And when you said in the beginning, I'm going to mention some of them, I knew there were going to be the questions about the rest. So we have two same questions. I'm going to start with this. In the presentation, it said immunity to change. We had two questions. Could you elaborate on this? What program is this and how does it work?
Can you repeat? Sorry, I didn't get correctly.
Immunity to change.
Immunity to change. Okay.
So the question is, how does it work?
I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but I will try to elaborate. So immunity to change, it's present in all the organization when we get there. So none of us want to change, but yeah, somehow with the best practices, with best examples, we try to persuade people that the change is good. And if Google teams and Meta teams and the best worldwide teams can improve continuously with use of Scrum, for example, and doing retrospectives and stuff like that from one iteration to another, then the companies and the teams in our region can also do that. So this is a message that we try to give to all the people out there.
Yeah, thank you for that. And we have one final question. What are some of the mistakes to be avoided when it comes to engagement of youth, in your opinion?
Okay, take them easy and try to listen as much as you can. Try to get as much feedback as you can from them. And youth is different from some people that are a bit longer in the working process. So there are probably misunderstandings and stuff like that. So probably try to understand the youth, their point of views, and combine that with the senior knowledge that you have in company. And this youthful energy will probably push the energy up in the whole company. So definitely include them in the process of brainstorming, ideation, and then strategizing for the future of the company.
This is a wonderfully presented case study. Thank you for that, and thank you for all the information, for all the details you've told us about youth engagement and young people. So thank you. It was amazing. And for the audience, please visit CorpoHub in Expo Zone. You have a lot to learn and see about their programs. Vlada, thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you very much. Goodbye to everyone.